and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Polish-Lithuanian campaign. Last time around we have been dealing with the Ottomans. We pushed them out of Transylvania and Klausenberg. Today we're going to go after the Prussians. I should have probably done that the other way around. I should have been looking at this area and then be moving up to the Prussians. Anyways, in between episodes there's been a big reform of the army. As per always, I forgot which year I started or ended the last video, but it's now 1723. And there's been a huge switch up in the army, because now I've actually unlocked the military syllabus, and we have a lot of different troops. There's also been a switch up now by a lot of member units, and I thought we'd quickly go in and go through it. Since I currently have, I think in total, the thing is, which I probably should have made clear, if you pay for a membership at the start of the campaign, even if it runs for a month, even if it runs out, like, I'm not gonna delete your unit. I'm gonna delete your name in the end of the video, but the unit will remain. Like in the last one we did, I can't remember who it was, but there was one guy, and I even made like the special tribute video to his unit, even though he was not actually a member anymore. Anyways, enough of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the three armies. So we've got Bryant over here, and in much of what remains of the old ones, it's the hussars and the cannons. I still haven't been able to get really good cannons, but in terms of getting 3 cannons for all the armies, I've had to improvise by getting a 6-pounder horse artillery for this army. And then the winged hussars have stayed the same, and then some of the special units, like the Lithuanians and so on, their brigades still intact. But for these armies, we now have replaced the light cavalry with hussars, or in this case, the Polska cavalry, which is a pretty good unit, high charge bonus, good melee attack, defense. Obviously nowhere near the winged hussars, but still good. Then we got the new grenadiers. So we got a new grenadier brigade coming in. We have elite guards. And let's see. We've got these line infantry. So now I've got what I wanted. We have similar accuracy to the previous ones that we had, but now we've got extended range up to 120, so that matches the rest of the army. So this is the Bryant army, which is currently heading to the Austrian border. I am figuring that Austria might go ahead and declare war on me, as the Prussians just did. So war with Austria might come as well. Then I've signed a peace treaty with the Ottomans, as I decided not to have a continuous war with the Ottomans, as I was going through the process of updating and changing around my armies. Doing a battle in the middle of all of that would have been quite dangerous. So for this one we got similar. We've got the winged hussars, and then for this one we've got the Usari hussars unit. Not as good as the Polska cavalry. 1 minus point in terms of melee, at almost a 15-point minus in charge bonus. Defense is similar, and I think morale is a little bit worse. Then in terms of what we have, the specials for this one, remaining for the last one is the Dillon regiment and the Lithuanian riflemen. The new brigades for this army is, I should say that this is the Olympic army. So we've got the guard infantry. You can see these guys in blue. This has absorbed a lot of the older infantry regiments. So we got the 7th Wyatt. We've got 11th Gilliflowers, as I've decided to move away from the bombardiers. I felt like the bombardiers even though that, you know, the slaughter they caused, I felt like it was kind of OP. I could wipe out, you know, units after units. And it's not I mean, the Ottomans deploy a lot of their hand mortar units, but they're not comparable really to my hand mortar or my sort of the shotgun unit. And so I've gone ahead and removed them. So we got 11th Gilliflower, we've got 6th Tunai, and 2nd Hios part of this. Then we also have a bigger line infantry regiment, brigade. A little bit less accuracy than what the others had, but still good. And then we have the Nekrasov infantry brigade, 4 units of those. So this one I think has 5 or 6. Did I have 5? It's 5 for the line infantry. I want like no, it's actually 6. I know I see 6 up there. So there's one like the big sort of meat and potatoes line infantry for all of these that has 6, I think, unless there's yeah, this one also has the line infantry. There's 6 of those. I should go ahead and remember where I put. I distinctly remember that I put. Okay, so here's first Nicks have now been upgraded to Lithuanian riflemen. And this one also have the 3 membership winged hussars. So it's 4 members for the Brilliant Army, and then this one has its members. So 4 members in this army, which is the Lempic army, set against the Ottomans. And then for the final and 3rd army, which is the new general, Adaminsky, which replaced the really old veteran general that finally died. And you could say in a sort of a roleplay manner that that guy was holding, even it was good general, he could have been holding on to the traditions of sort of the old, and once he died, they were able to usher in this reform to bring the Polish-Lithuanian army up to speed. We still have some remnants as the winged hussars, but yeah. So Adaminsky's army holds winged hussars, then he holds hussars. These have muskets or carbines, really good range. I think they have, I guess they have a full-on musket to get that range. Accuracy is a bit low, but there you go. Melee attack and so on is similar to the Uzari, so basically the Uzari, just that these guys can fire. The fact that they can fire at 120 range is pretty darn good, but you know, they're not really meant to be shooting like that. Could though very quickly ride up to a flank, and the fact that they've got really good range means they can stay out of range. For this army, membership units, it's the Guard Grenadiers. So we got 1st Kurt, 2nd Holt, 3rd Majovsky, and 4th Ogonam. Followed by that, we also have the Hungarian Mercenary Elite Infantry. We now also have the Slovenian Freikorps, which is light unit. It doesn't have as good range. It's 10 points range difference in between the Slovenians and the Lithuanians, but pretty good unit still. And then as the big meat and potatoes line infantry, we got these green line infantry, 120 range, 41 accuracy, good reload and so on. In terms of, you know, melee, that it's not really needed, as it's kind of a secondary as of yet. And then also to bolster my army, and then just also bolster really the strength of my army, because what I noticed is that, you know, my status, let's just go ahead and look at Russia, my power has a tendency to fall after a battle or a series of battles where my armies get depleted, fall a step. And so to keep sort of the step up, and then also have a protection against if there's going to be more aggressions from the west here, we have gone ahead and put 4 line infantry in each one of these. I also had an idea of adding the garrison cannons. However, the Prussians declared war on us before I was able to do that. So, yeah. Although, as of now, the Prussians have the upper hand, as they could quickly move in to attack one of these territories up front, most likely Silesia, as they've been asking for to trade it. But we'll see. I kind of think the AI will actually sit put quite a while, because they're not strong enough. I don't know why they've decided to declare war, but it's a good time to actually take out the Prussians fully. And it could also lead me to, after that, actually go ahead and preemptively take out the Austrians. Because the Austrians are actually working on recreating their empire. Now, they haven't been able to go against me, but they went against the Venetians. And they actually took their home region. And it looks like they're going after the Pope as well. Even though we haven't had super good relations with the Pope. I think I've barely been able to establish trade with him, and I've been trying to trade other stuff, but he's been very reluctant. It would be sort of in our nature to come to the aid of the Pope, as our nemesis, one of our three nemesis, is going after him. Also what I can see is that the Austrians are continuously upgrading their troops as well. They're not really on our level yet. They still have a lot of these matchlock units, but they are, you know, moving in a lot of newer troops for their armies, compared to, say, the Prussians, which are they still have basically the same armies that we would face. There's a few new units here and there, but not nearly to the extent that we see with the Austrians. So we're gonna see if we are able to get Adaminsky and his army up here to fight the Prussians before they go ahead and declare or go in against us. There's also the Swedes. I've been trying to find a peace treaty with the Swedes, where I actually, to the point where I even gifted them a lot of technology. Eventually, I'm gonna have to go after the Russians. And it would be nice to have the Swedes as an ally then, instead of an enemy, because when I go in to take St. Petersburg, Sweden could see its opportunity to go in and attack, or just again go after Livonia. So it would be nice if we could, and also to protect my trade. You know, them hitting my trade, especially now when I've upgraded my armies. I still make quite a lot of money, but you know, we're losing out on quite a lot of trade income when the Swedes come with their navy. In this case, there's a single ship, the Little Phoenix, coming in and just taking out probably thousands of gold. Otherwise, in terms of the stability of the country, this is what it looks like. So we have, even though kind of interesting, Lithuania, even though Lithuania is almost completely now Polish culture, they're still quite unhappy, but I think it's a lot to do with the fact that we built a college there. We're turning around a lot of provinces, and also note that none of these are exempted from tax, so we are able to bring in tax from the entire empire, so that's good. Ministers, it's the same ministers have been ruled in the cabinet forever, for all these 23 years, more or less. Except for, I think the Navy guy is the only one who is relatively new, but I switched that guy like 5 years into the campaign. And then obviously the king, 53 years old, he could live for quite a bit longer. Nothing really to be said about that. Technology-wise, we've got 3 of these universities. Currently, I'm working all on philosophy studies, because I feel I need to bring that up to speed, just to increase. As we go along here, it takes longer and longer to research these. 28, 19, and so on. And in the military as well, that's going to be an increase as well. So I want to get that up so we increase the rate in which we, you know, increase the research rate. With that said, though, I don't think there is anything else to update you on. In terms of the grand scheme of things, Empire, of course, covers the Americas and India, but Poland isn't really a colonial power. So we don't have to worry about much more than, you know, as far as our eyes can see across the border. That's what we worry about. We don't worry about the world at large. Although at some point here, you know, all of Eastern Europe is gonna be Polish. But I digress. Let's go ahead and end turn and march briskly to deal with the German problem. Prussian Navy is raiding my trade. What the Swedes don't block, the Prussians are raiding. They have a mighty naval force. Not that it's gonna help them much. I mean, pillaging my trade certainly brings in a... Why is Sweden making so much money from trade here? 10,000? Followed by Hanover at 7,000. What are they doing? Are they selling illegal African cargo? People, I just talked about saving the Pope. The Pope is gone. Oh. Which means that I can install my own Polish Pope if I restore His Holiness. The Austrians must be stopped. This is sacrilegious in their quest to engross themselves by eating up everything. Not completely unrelated to my own imperialism, of course. Oh yeah, I built some special troops. Moldovan troops. So Moldova is gonna hold on to Moldova. We got Moldovan militias and Moldovan Carabinieri. That's gonna hold on to this region. Actually, pretty good. Interesting cavalry unit with a high defense points. Weak charge bonus. Pretty good accuracy, reloading, shooting. So more of a defensive unit, which is great. That's exactly what I'm going to use them for. And then militia. Nothing to be said about them. Huge land reform. I was able to get I think the 4 fields. I can't remember who I traded that with. Then we got another field. Grand Museum. Mercury thermometer. Okay. What was I thinking? I was able to get... I traded 4 field crop rotation. But I can't remember from who. And I can't remember what I gave up. I think it was some odd small nation that I gave quite a lot of military technology to gain that. And so now with that, all villages all over the place are like popping up quite rapidly because now they have food. So the people feel like, oh, you know what? We can have a few kids now. The Prussians aren't moving, so it seems like we will be taking the fight to them. As it looks right now, it's gonna be at least 2 more turns until I'm actually able to fight them. In between, if I have 2 turns at the same time, I can build 2 ships here. I could have enough. I could build 2 ships to take on the 1 Swedish ship. And then we could have a first naval battle. The Polish Navy takes to the sea. We can build 2 frigates to Sweden's 1. That should ensure our victory for a nation that hasn't gone to sea for this entire campaign. Anyways, let's go ahead and let the end times... End times? No. Well, no. No. But let the end turns roll on. We are just on the border of Brandenburg, but I'm out of moves. What I do have, though, is the Navy. But before we go ahead and do that, I forgot a member unit. So this brigade actually has a total of 5 units. I believe it was... let's see. Jipilu! I completely forgot about Jipilu, which is also... I don't know why there's a Y there. There we go. 5th Jipilu. He was en route through the mountains, and that's why I forgot about him. With that, let's go ahead and open up some trade, shall we? I can go ahead and put an admiral here. What's gonna cost me? 1800. I can better spend that on other things. And with that, let's have our first naval battle. And we have a victory! It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but we had the upper hand throughout the battle, to the point where we even captured the Swedish ship. And, you know what? I don't mind if I do. I'm gonna incorporate the Swedish frigate into my own fleet, so now I end up with 3 of them. Wonderful. Okay, so it took a little bit longer to get to battle, because I realized going up this route I would end up going against this army, but I wanted to go against the full army so we get the proper battle. Now I also realized that I probably spent too much time doing other stuff, because now the Prussians have plenty of time to prepare, and they've got a lot more troops than before. In terms of my navy, I went around and I burned some of the Swedish harbors. As we can see, the trade port is burned, so all that 10,000 is gone. And so is also my navy, because the turned up a Prussian navy blocked me from going back to my ports. So we decided to go through the North Sea and exit here towards Newfoundland. But our final destination is actually Indonesia, or the East Indies. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and march up and strike the Prussians. Alright, so the main army that we're facing is 8,000 men. I have about 6,500. And they're gonna be joined by reinforcements of, I think it's 5,750. So there's quite a lot of them. They will be bringing some guns. They have upgraded. They have a lot of these 6-pound batteries. There's going to be brought up. A lot of grenadiers. A lot of cavalry or life guard. These smaller 75 unit cavalry. Should be easy enough to deal with. But we can sit here and talk all we want. There's a big battle ahead of us. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Oh, I do enjoy this. As the battle is quite large, I thought it's going to take forever if the enemy deploys all the way in the back, but look at the deployment zone. We're right next to each other. Now I'm hoping the Prussians deploy quite far forward, or at least at this line and not in the back. Got a really nice artillery hill right here, overlooking the entirety of the Prussian field. Now there's some dips here and there, but this is wonderful. In terms of my deployment, we'll talk about that as the battle starts. Okay, so they did deploy in kind of the back line. Now I see the line extending far, far greater than I have. And I was hoping before my battery is fired that I would be aiming for the cavalry that's turning up over there. My hussars are on this side. I'm advancing the Slovenian infantry brigade. We've got the main infantry brigade coming through here. I have deployed way too many men, way too far apart. Here's the hussars. I'm ordering everyone forward, but we're not going to go as far forward as you can see here. What I intend to do is, I'm hoping here, let's go ahead and detail the cannons a little bit better, I think. Yes, wonderful. They're just 75 men each, and now when the cannons run them through, there's even less of them. Although there's one that's coming a lot more closer than the rest of them, even though bouncing through these would create more kills. Looks like the 8th Cavalry Regiment there is going straight towards my Slovenians. Slovenians is a light infantry brigade. I'll order them to run to position immediately. We are getting hit by artillery out here, and there's a massive cavalry force on the way. Infantry, hold. Hungarians, hold. Grenadiers, hold. Okay, they were on their way. It might be that the Prussians are concentrating all their cavalry on this side, and that's why the cavalry is switching over. No, now the cavalry is turning on the Slovenians. I'm going to order the artillery to focus in on the troops here. Can the Slovenians form square? No, they cannot. They need to be protected. I'm going to have to call out the hussars here. And we're going to have to aid with a lot of cannon fire going against these troops. It's going to be one hell of a test for the skill, the battle skill of my Slovenians. The winged hussars do arrive. Okay. General firing into the back of the cannon crews. I'm going to order the cannons to fire far away so we don't shoot into our own troops there. The Prussian cavalry was seen off. But I can see gunfire all the way over there. I'm going to order these guys back. As we've held the line. But what's going on over here? Shh, crap. The hussars getting attacked. I'm gonna order them away. Oh, they're lining up for a flank. A huge flanking maneuver. But it's unsupported by infantry. So it's not gonna go too well. I'm gonna order these to hold fire. There is infantry on the way though. I've dragged my troops into a way too long line. Right, the Prussian seems to be advancing all along the line. Right, a final cavalry attack on this side was thwarted. I'll order these to hold fire and then pick target at will. Actually pick that one. Okay, the cavalry attack went in. But I had time to prepare my squares. At this point, the hussars will come back. Hussars going in, or holding off, trying to go at the heavy cavalry head on is going to be a disaster. So we're just going to hold as it is. But now you can see the entire Prussian line coming at us. We lost very few troops actually. What I will do is I will contract this line a little bit and move this way. That opens up for, if these come forward, that the cannons can fire canister at them. Okay, you will drop the square. There's no point in you sitting with square. The hussars will open fire. The squares held. They've held really well here. Quite a bit of Prussians now attacking all across the line. The entire line has opened up fire. Quite a bit of unit militia. Older units. You know what? We will focus our artillery fire here. And then prepare to sweep them with the cavalry. Right, the hussars on this side successfully have aided in sending a lot of these guys away. 2 friendly fire on 1 unit, but not too bad. I'm gonna move forward here. Okay, these smaller units, when there's just like a handful of them left, I feel confident enough to order an attack. The grenadiers will go ahead and deploy into line. Most of the enemy army has engaged, except for over here, as of yet. And our line is holding. The hussars overwhelmed the enemy units. Did they dismount the cavalry? Yes, they did. They've dismounted. There's no point in holding the squares. Form into line. I want the hussars to fan out on this side. Okay, there's fire all along the line. The Prussians continue to march here. We're firing up through the side. Ooh! Even though that shot actually went through our... Ooh! There's a lot of O's here as we fire through these troops. I'm gonna switch my artillery to fire further away over here. But it's time for the cavalry to move in. Let's see, my hussars. I'll order them to fire at will to aid in the fight here. They might need to be pushed in to attack here. But we've got a lot going on. Okay, the middle unit, 10th Winged Hussars, will attack over there. You will move through over here. Keep an eye out for reinforcements, as a lot of enemy units have fallen. As the hussars go in, these guys will start to swing up. The militia will be attacked. The 11th Winged Hussars will swing around. Okay, the 9th is going straight in on the militia. Good. I need to check what's going on out here. Holt's Grenadiers is holding just fine. I will order the hussars to hold fire though. One will go after the battery, and the other 2 will strike the enemy over here. Or whatever units that are out here. Jesus Christ, why are there so many of them? Hussars pull back. Let's check on this side. What are my Winged Hussars doing? Continue your attacks, sir. Okay, Hungarians. Heavy onset by ceremonial escort. This unit will slightly turn. line infantry hope to aid these guys. Over here, though, my Grenadier Brigade is heavy onset by tons and tons of enemies. Alright, the winged hussars are doing good. Let's see, my cannons. It's too risky now. I'll hold fire with the cannons now. Winged hussars go in and aid here, so we focus in. I need aid here, because here we have quite the fight. I'm gonna order these guys in. You move forward. Hussars, strike what's left of these. There's a third hussar that's missing. Is there cannons you can fight out here? Matchlock bastards. Ah, no! Okay, so first unit routed. This one's all over the place. That should be easy enough to rout. Holt is not too happy, but it's because he's facing the other way. He's facing the wrong way. Form square. That'll give you some morale boost. Hussars going in on the 19th. I think there's just too many Prussians here. It's going to be difficult. Holt has lost a lot of men. Kurt is moving in. The hussars are being ordered straight into this. Winged hussars. I'm going to order them back. We held! And the mercenary Hungarians even followed this unit. What I'm going to do is line infantry. It's going to move up. The two Hungarians is going to organize themselves here, and these two is going to move forward. The hussars have been fighting hard here. Follow these guys out, and then Kurt will be ordered to attack in towards the Prussians here. Who has been holding here? 79 of Majovsky. Jesus Christ! They need immediate aid. We don't have time to stand and shoot. And the hussars need to go back in. The third hussars seem to have left the field, unfortunately. The winged hussars will renew their attack before they get shot up. Majovsky is holding. They're down to 60 men. But we are sending in reinforcements now. So we got the Hungarians charging in. We've got first Kurt. Holt will drop the square and join the fight. Majovsky is down to 50 men holding on. The thin red line, it will not break. It will not. 46, 45. 45 men, and then the Prussians break. Alright, hussars, go after them over there. Let's see if I can organize all the infantry here. Okay, the Hungarians, they kill them over there. Go after that one. Can you just like push through and get rid of this one already? What a fight it turned down to go over here. 44 left. Wait, what? The flag still stands? And the officer of the regiment fought through all of that. 44 men left. And they brought down the entire Prussian force here. Right, hussars. Get after them. Okay, the Hungarian brigade. Let's reorganize that one. The Grenadiers will move to the back just now. There's so much to keep a track of. Okay, all the infantry is kind of gone. Let's order just a general advance of everything, so we kind of stop all the firing. Hungarians to face that matchlock. Let's hold the Grenadiers. Oh, we've got one regiment coming back. Grenadiers hold. Majovsky, of course, being held in reserve at this point. Oh, one of the Hussars gave way. The other one's down to 69. But they've you know what? Continue chasing this one. Right, the Hussars got rid of those, got rid of those. I'd say we won the battle. Or, well, now I'm gonna have to deal with the reinforcements. But I would say the worst of it all is done with. Okay, so my Hussars did stay on the battlefield. Good. We got plenty of retreating forces, which I would like to chase down. But I guess we'll have to leave them for a second battle. I'm a little bit hesitant to sending my Hussars out after these. I don't know where the enemy reinforcement's going to come from. And most of these are like 50 men, so it's not major. If it was like 100 in some unit, most of these are like 60 and even 6 or 50. It's not big. Okay, so I guess the reinforcements didn't turn up because I just won the battle. Taking stock of the situation, one Hussar routed, and one unit got mauled very badly, Majovsky. But the flag still stands, and the officer of the regiment still stands. And now this army has been thoroughly battle tested. Wonderful victory over the Prussians. Next battle will be the actual Battle of Berlin, but that's gonna have to wait for the next video. Here's the result of the battle. We deployed a total of 6,550 troops against the enemy's 14,000 men. We ended up losing a third of our force, around 2,300, leaving a force of 4,000 men left. The enemy, however, lost an astonishing 10,000 men, with then only 3,500 men left. Major victory. All my units are still alive. What I should mention here is I was gonna end the battle right after I'd done like the, you know, I've won the battle. But then I noticed there was actually reinforcement troops coming in to the battle. So the battle did actually continue for quite a bit, because I didn't dare end it at that point. But there were no major battles. It was basically me being able to corner like all these units that were coming in, and since they were coming in piecemeal, like a single cavalry unit making attacks, coming forward. One thing that did happen though was that one of these cavalry units that did attack, most of them ran into cannon fire and got destroyed. One of them did make it to the Freikorps, the Slovenian Freikorps, and it actually routed all the units except for one. And it's not the one that's only had 90 men left, but they didn't go well. Hussars killed about 3,000 men, so 1,000 men per unit. Then actually we have a line infantry unit. Comes out of nowhere and gets almost 600 kills. Hungarians. Guard Grenadiers. Lost 59. I want to see... Let's see, highest losses. Slovenian Freikorps is high losses. Grenadier Guards, here we got Majovsky. Lost 200 men. Killed 300. So he killed more than he lost. But it's more important that he held the line until reinforcements was able to come in. That was one heroic defense. I was really surprised as well that the flag and the officer survived. Still, 3,500 Prussians left. So there's gonna have to be another battle. And I don't have time in this episode to do that. It's like shit troops that's left. A lot of these artillery is fixed, so they're not gonna join the battle. Obviously they're gonna spawn quite a bit of units, but I mean, they don't really have a chance, do they? I do like the fact that they've actually been able to build the castle here. I wonder, can I see what they can build? No, I can only see... I can't see what the enemy can build. It would be nice if they fully build up all their special buildings for Berlin. Same for Austria. They don't seem to be putting much effort into their capital. Oh! Bankruptcy. They bankrupt themselves, going after the Pope. Anyways, I think... I'll check, but I think... You know what? Actually, we can actually start by laying the siege. Oh, I don't even have the movement! The battle, it was such a hard-fought battle that we don't even have the effort to go like the 1 kilometer or whatever it is to get to Berlin. Also want to check it. It's gonna cost me 9,000, almost 10,000 to replenish the army. Mentioned in dispatches. Mentioned in dispatches? After that great victory against the Prussians, they completely destroyed. I could possibly actually ask the Prussians to become my vassal. I note that they have 2 religious schools. It's going to take forever to turn them around. The idea, though, is to do a reverse partition. Feeble and rich. The reverse partition. So, not just vassalization. We're talking full annexation. With that said, I'm gonna leave it on that note. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.